Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort Marina on Lake Taneycomo. We're going to do one cast today. It's the 11th of April. This is Thursday. Wanted to see how pretty the trees are. They really popped out the last couple of days. Just 2 days. Little green on the outside, and now they're green all through. Got dogwoods coming out, red buds, and then there's the other white. Usually the other white comes out first, and then the dogwoods, but they're all coming out at the same time. I'm going to try throwing a 32nd ounce white and gray jig 6X tippet. I'm going to fish it about 4 or 5 foot deep under a float. Somebody asked me today about fly fishing, and I said I had been doing a lot. Yeah, you can fly fish with 2 units. You just have to adjust. I'm on the shallow side, just below Lookout. Lookout's just right around the corner. So I'm going to be drifting down the slow side, throwing out about here. I think I might go 5. Ooh. I'll go 5 feet. It's a real nice evening. It was windy today. It wasn't windy all the time. It would blow for a little bit, blow real hard, and then it would stop for a while, and then it would blow real hard. I know Ryan said his dad in southeast Kansas, they had some really, really tough wind today. Okay, I'll get it out there a little ways. Gotta go. Haha, I got a fish on one cast. Finally. How many days has this been? Of course, I haven't got it in yet. Probably on and at it. Stay on. Thank you. Now don't take my jig because it's the only one I got. He wasn't hooked up hard. Okay, I'm just about, my camera's going to hit a tree branch here in a second. Okay. Yeah, I'm clear. Well, that was cool. I get past this trade, I can cast. Actually, that's plenty far enough. I picked white because the fish, there's another one. The fish still should be keying in on white a little bit after they saw shad last week. I did want to throw this out. You know, we're supposed to get some rain Saturday and Sunday, and they're saying 2 inches possible. They're still running 2 units. Table Rock is just about, I think it's 915.1, and they have not adjusted the flow at all. It's 2 units, 63, 6400 CFS, 24 hours a day. There's another one. Nice one. Ooh, jumper. And beaver's down below power pool. They're still running a little bit. So, a little nicer fish. And he's full of something. Got a big old belly. I'm not getting a lot of information from the Corps as to if their 1 or 2 units are still being repaired. If that's the case, and we get 2 inches of rain and the lakes come up a couple feet, we usually, 1 inch of rain equals a foot usually, then we might see floodgates again. I do like to speculate. I'm actually just kind of thinking out loud. Of course, if all the units are back online, then no issues. They'll run 3 or 4 units if they have to, depending on how much rain we get. We haven't been fishing. Went crappie fishing yesterday. I don't even know if I even talked about it last night, since we had to go get the dogs. Did not do well. The new fish finder that I have found the fish, but I'm still not clear if they were bluegill or crappie. I did catch a bluegill and a short crappie, but that was 4 hours of fishing. So I'm still learning, and I'm not a avid crappie fisherman. I mean, I'd love to be, but I just don't have the time to devote to that. And in crappie fishing, you either get lucky, or you got to be out there scouting and knowing where they're at. And be there when they bite. But we have a lot of people at the resort. A lot of people checked in today. And so I'm going to move out just a little bit, because there's a real shallow shelf right here, and I'd rather be out in a little deeper water. And I want to check my jig just to make sure it's not covered with moss. Whoop. Not paying attention to what I'm doing. You guys have never done this before, have you? It's not the easiest throwing a jig. You got a lot of weight out there. And what actually happened that time is the jig stayed down in the water and loaded my rod way too much. Okay. See, I did it again. If I can get it out of the water. Yeah, it's kind of a different view. I'm just gonna leave it like this a little bit. Since I'm fishing by myself, I can point the boat anywhere I want. I am still on that shelf. It's still, now it's starting to drop off. Get past this little creek. As long as I don't catch the camera on my back cast. Jack, what are you doing? Come on. And even though I've got a jig under a float, I like to move the float around quite a bit just to give the jig a bit of action. And they will hit it on a dead drift, but I like to give it a little bit of action just to kind of now I'm going to move back. Kind of get the boat adjusted here a little bit. I'll back myself up towards this bank again. You probably couldn't see, but when I started up there, I was only about 2 boat lengths away from the bank. Right now I'm about 3 boat lengths from this bank. And the way I have the camera tilted, you can't see the bank behind me. You can fly fishing up here or even spin fishing, you do the same thing with a float. Use a scud, kind of drift it close to the bottom or on the bottom. A shad fly. Would work up here. San Juan worm, an egg fly. Drift it with I'd use split shot, just a little split shot. If you're going to drift it with no float. If you're going to drift it with a float, do the same thing I'm doing. If you're using a fly, you use a little tiny split shot to get that fly down underneath the float. I can do the same thing using a scud. But I want to fish it plenty deep enough to where it's raking across the bottom. The jig, not so much. You can float it off the bottom a little ways. It'll come up for it. I actually thought this area would be better than that area up there. Can't believe there's no wind. This is great. I really didn't think it would die down. Jackson, I really thought it was going to be pretty good. I'd catch 4 or 5 on this little drift. There's a little bit of wind. Okay, I'm not going to mess with the float. I'm just going to let it dead drift. See if that does anything. I did not bring any scuds or anything, any other kind of fly. Just brought jigs. Yeah, it's pretty over there. The dogwoods are just barely budded out. You can see the white, but well, there's one that's kind of budded out. Flowers are bloomed. Everything else are buds. What is the name of that other white tree that blooms in the spring, like usually before the dogwoods? Come on, fish. There's that wind. Just about down to the Narrows. That's how long it takes to drift from just below Lookout down to the Narrows with 2 units. Oh, that was not a good cast. Yeah, I'm at the Narrows now. I just got shallow. I'll go on through the Narrows. I don't know, I might catch one through here. Usually this is a real good spot, but I'm set way too deep for this water. It's only about 3.5 feet, and I've got it set about 6. Well, you can't see, but my float is kind of halfway under because jig is dragging the bottom. Fish might pick it up. Yeah, he did. As soon as I moved it, he hit it. A little one. It's pretty. Turn my jig sideways and shake it. Now it's real shallow. See, this is kind of what it did today. It was real still for a long time, and then the wind just picks up. It's kind of cool. It was 72 degrees when I got up this morning at 4:30, 5 o'clock. 72 degrees. Couldn't believe it. Megan and Jimmy camped last night at State Park. They said they didn't get a whole lot of sleep. They were in a tent. They said it was windy all night. And it was kind of balmy. Balmy, humid, warm. I'll move out just a little bit. Of course, it'll get deep here in a second. I'm gonna keep fishing until I hit the drop off, then I'll quit. At drop off's where you usually pick up some fish. Starting to get a little deep now, but it's still pretty shallow. The drop off should be like right now. Yeah, it's starting to get deep. Come on. One more. I get my limit. Come on. I've got you. I got the boat all turned around. So you gotta fish out the same size the camera is. Ooh, pretty sunset. It might be really pretty tonight. Okay. I'll speed the boat up. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for watching, guys. I guess you guys can see that sky. It is really, really pretty. Hope so. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, number 4. Had to switch sides of the lake. Whoop. Almost down to Fall Creek. Ooh, man, he is heavy. Well, that's why. He's a big fish. Stop it, stop it, stop it. You're going to break my line. Oh, yeah. Good job. Perfect. Gotta go home.